Abortion is a hot topic and always has been and always will be because people cannot accept that it's someone else's choice and everyone else believes that it's their belief is the only correct belief. For me, abortion is a woman's choice to an extent. I do believe that the government should have a say in advocating for the fetus, but there is a line. In cases such as rape, incest, drug, alcohol usage, or fetal impairment, or when the mother's life is in danger, I do believe that abortion should be used to prevent such things, or reverse such things, I guess. Many people get an abortion because they can't afford to have a child, and people say that getting an abortion is as expensive as having a child, but that's not true because a child is a lifelong payment plan. There's also many people on welfare who can't afford to pay for themselves, and they're mostly drug users and things like that, and so they're just popping out child after child and adding more children to our welfare system, which we already can't pay for all the people on it. So abortion can be used to help us on welfare. Other people will say, well, why don't you just do adoption? Well, not everyone gets adopted. Many people bounce around foster homes, and when they turn 18, they get kicked out, and they've never learned to be loved or had anyone support them in their life, and they don't know how to live, so they will also most likely end up on welfare. Another problem with abortion is depression, because people are scared of how people will treat them, or they're scared because they want a child but they can't have a child and they're seeing other people get abortions, or they want a child but not right now, or they don't want a child but they don't want an abortion. There's a lot of things that add into the depression of having an abortion. Most of it comes from from your social life, and people attacking you and not supporting what you do and all that stuff. In 1971, Roe versus Wade established that abortion is legal, but it gave the states the right to decide what they want to do with it. So some states made it illegal, some states made it legal, and other states made it legal under certain circumstances. Everything was different. Many people believe that abortion is a black and white case, but for me it's not, because there's things like rape, incest, drug and alcohol abuse, the mother's life is in danger, or the fetus will be impaired to the point where their life will be unbearable. 51% of Americans believe that abortion should be legal in most cases, and those most cases are in cases of rape and all that kind of stuff. Most people do believe that it should not be used as a form of abortion, because if you're adult enough to have sexual relations, you're adult enough to take care of a child. Abortion was liberalized to prevent unsafe abortions, because many people were having unsafe abortions before it was legalized, because they needed abortion, so they had abortions in corners or dark alleys or unlicensed facilities, and it caused a lot of harm and death. So Aspen Baker is the co-founder of a company called Excel. She found herself in a new relationship, and a few weeks later found out she was pregnant and didn't know what to do, and this is what she had to say.
As a kid, the idea of abortion made me so sad that I knew if I ever got pregnant, I could never have one. And then I did. It was a step towards the unknown. But Polly had given me a very special gift: the knowledge that I wasn't alone, and the realization that abortion was something that we can talk about. Abortion is common. According to the Guttmacher Institute, 1 in 3 women in America will have an abortion in their lifetime. But for the last few decades, the dialogue around abortion in the United States has left little room for anything beyond pro-life and pro-choice. It's political and polarizing. But as much as abortion...
So Baker had an abortion, but her decisions leading up to that were very hard for her. She said she didn't know. She wanted children, but she wasn't ready for children yet, and she didn't want to have an abortion because she didn't want to regret her decision later on. But she said it was good for her because it allowed her to open up and realize that there's more to the two sides of pro-choice and pro-life, that women should understand that not everyone does it, but that it can be talked about and it's not as uncommon as people think. So 96% of nations allow abortion to save a life, and that's important to me because I think that if your pregnancy is threatening your life, you shouldn't be forced to keep that child and die because of it. 73% of countries in Europe allow abortion for most causes, and America has very similar laws, and only 6 out of 173 do not allow abortion in any cases. So there's basically two sides to abortion. There's pro-life and pro-choice. Pro-life is advocating for the fetus because the fetus cannot advocate for itself. Christy Brown said that abortion must be illegal if murder is illegal. It should never be lawful to kill any innocent human beings, including a fetus. The big fight about that is if you're adult enough to make your own decisions, you're adult enough to raise a child, and that's a big cause, or a big part of pro-life. Pro-choice is saying that it's a woman's choice, and Michael Levesque compared taking away a woman's choice as slavery, because slaves did not have a choice in their life. They didn't get to choose who they loved, who they had children with, and all sorts of things. So taking away a woman's choice of what she wants to do with her body is kind of like slavery. Also, another big part of pro-choice is the fact of an unwanted child. Could you imagine growing up, living your entire life feeling like you were unwanted, or being a parent and having all this regret about a child and feeling terrible about yourself because you feel that way? Both sides would be miserable and no one would ever be happy. So abortion is an unsolvable question because everyone has their own views and everyone believes they are right. For me, I believe that it's a woman's choice to an extent. I don't think it should be used for birth control because there are many other forms of birth control. And I believe that the government should have a say for the fetus, but there's a fine line, and it's really hard to find that line. But for me, I believe if people could just understand that it's not all your choice. You can fight for what you believe and you can advocate for what you want, but don't let it ruin your life and don't cause more problems on the issue that you don't have any more control of. Okay, I'm done.